Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live session. So, guys, let's quickly get into what we have for the moment. So, the protest for today, we are going to be taking a look at some of the highlights. But before we get into that, just to tell you guys that Barrister Effiong, who is one of the lawyers representing the protesters and also one of the organizers of this protest, was with Tinubu's Tinubu's spokesperson on Channels Television. You need to see what happened. You need to watch that video for yourself. But before we get into that video, let's take a look at some of the reactions, that came up during protests and bad governance protest day 2, the second day. And let's take a look at this.
Will not, if that guy is not confident of himself, if he was not sent, he will not have opened fire for protesters. Imagine peaceful protesters protesting. The police are there shooting at us with tear gas, and this man is at our front shooting gun. Like, where are we supposed to run to? It is God that helped me. It was a good Samaritan that picked me with his car immediately, because in fact everybody was confused. We had to all scatter. We are not going backward. We are not going backward. Look, let me tell you, Mr. Senator, Wike, Minister of Abuja, let me tell you, no matter what we do, no matter how, we are not staying here. This is not where we are supposed to protest. National Stadium is not where we are. We are not footballers. I don't know how to play football. I am not a footballer. I cannot come to National Stadium to protest. We are coming there. Get ready. That guy you sent, that man you sent to come and kill, tell him we are coming back. Oh, I'm not going to die. You will die before me. You, Wike, you will die before me. You and your generation will die before me. I will start to fight for our rights. I don't care what. See, if you like, chase me. Look at my face. I'm no more afraid. Yesterday I was on nose mask. Today I'm not on nose mask. I am ready.
So, guys, when you see the way Nigerians are talking, you get to know that people are angry. People are angry with this government. What's even wrong with Wike? Do you know that he has started saying that it is politicians who are sponsoring this protest? And guess what? He's asking for dialogue. He now wants the youth to come and dialogue, but he will not shut his mouth up. Wike will be bringing out conflicting information. Today, he will tell his politicians. Tomorrow, he will tell you, come and dialogue. Before this protest, Wike came out to say, don't mind those bandits that say they want to come and protest. There's nothing like protest in Abuja. That's what he said when he was addressing a crowd. He called protesters bandits. And you can see how he's trying to frustrate, despite them going to hire people. Nigerians, you need to see how many people these people went to hire to come and say no protest in Nigeria. But guess what? Nigerians are saying this opportunity cannot be misused. I mean, it cannot be misused. We must get all our demands met. That is where we are now at the moment. So, guys, things are really going well in this protest. So many parts of the Southwest have equally come. I mean, people have come out en masse. You go to Ondo State, you go to Ekiti State, we are not even talking about Lagos, not to talk of, Uyo State, where the governor Makinde has come out to endorse this protest. He just asked protesters to ensure they protest peacefully. But as for the protest, he is in support of it. And we've seen so many people coming out to join this protest in Oyo State. Honestly, we all know that this hunger is real in Nigeria, and that is why the people cannot keep quiet. Things must be fixed.
Nobody said the gatherers understand. If once no come and say this no protest now, problem go there for the country. Because by the time say they come and now say we want this one that one, you know go make them go do it too one. You understand? Because at the end of the day, some people that are there for your tire, if you like why your motor they won't lose your tire. If you don't get that, then bring that. If you don't get that, they go lose your jack. Yes. So you say you dey hungry.
So, guys, in case you didn't understand what that guy said, these were actually people that were hired by this government to come and disrupt this peaceful protest. But guess what? They changed their minds. They were saying that there is hunger. Many of them were paid like 5K to come and, display their placards that they are not in support of protest, that no protest in Nigeria. They were paid 5,000. By the time Tinubu's government keep hiring people on a daily basis for 5,000 per head across the entire country, do you know how much they must have spent? Don't forget that they told Nigerians that they budgeted 6 billion just to manage protests. We didn't know that that money was actually meant to like hire thugs. We've seen thugs who ended up looting, because the real Nigerians who want better tomorrow cannot come out to start looting. They sent in talks. Guess what? Those talks rather turn against them and start.
Why you can't say no protest?
It's because of the 5,000.
It's because of the 5,000 they give to us this money.
So you heard him, that because they gave them 5,000, that's why they came out. See young men who are supposed to own their own businesses, no matter how small, how big it is. Look at them. Possibly they have their parents. They must have had children, but now because of the poverty in the land, they collected 5,000 naira, which is not even up to $1, to come and stand on the road to tell Nigerians not to protest against Tinubu. Can you see the level of the hypocrisy of this government? See, Tinubu will be on the run. Why has he not come out to address the nation? What is he afraid of? Why has he not come out? What will he tell Nigerians? That his policemen are busy buying people. He doesn't know how to. Where is even Tinubu? Has he left the country? Where is he? He has not come out to even speak for once. Because this kind of situation, you don't just manage it by coming to show your face on the television. But we've not seen him. Leadership gap in Nigeria. So listen to what this guy
But if you say you dey hungry, why you can't say no protest?
It's because of the 5,000.
It's because of the 5,000 they give to us this money.
Yes.
That's the reason why we
come out to say no protest.
To say it's not in our mind to say no.
So who be the person who mobilize them?
We don't know them. They come with 3 vehicles this morning in our area, telling us to follow them. They will give us 5,000. We should say no to protest. But we are not in support of that because we are hungry for love.
Where be that?
This hardship is in Asoko.
Asoko. Okay. What's the name?
My name is Osai
Emmanuel.
From Benue State.
From Benue. Which work do you do?
I do plumbing work.
Okay.
And I'm Anthony from Anambra State.
Okay.
I'm a scaffolder.
But today, you dey with those who no want protest.
That is the reason why you can see I'm playing. I'm not holding that
placard.
What do you call it?
Placard, the cardboard.
The cardboard, yes. I'm not holding it on hand. Okay. It's because of I'm too. I don't need it. I will never hold that.
It's okay.
So guys, you've seen it. These are the people that were bought to come and, protest, to come and say that they don't want protest. So let's quickly take a look at this video. And I know you're going to
varying ones, of course, on the situation in the country. And perhaps let's look at where we need to take these issues that have taken the Nigerians that are protesting to the street. I'm being joined by Alhaji Jamiu Abiola, the son of MKO Abiola. He's a special assistant to the president on special duties in the office of the vice president, and also wrote the 2 democracy non-fiction bestsellers, The President Who Never Ruled and The Stolen Presidency, which is, of course, available for sale. Jamiu Abiola, thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
And I'm also being joined by Damilola Adenola, who is the Damilola.
Question by saying that myself and my friends didn't start this often. I've said them again and again that this is the idea of hungry Nigerians. This is the idea of deprived Nigerians. This is the idea of economically marginalized Nigerians. And for the question of objectives, the protesters, which I am part of, are yet to achieve the objective of our protests, which are stated in our Charter of Demands. But one thing we have been able to do is to make a strong statement and to send a strong message to the people in power, to see the capacity of what the masses, what people can do by way of protest, to see what the people are capable of if they are about to, express their displeasure. That was kick-started and it's ongoing, and we are waiting on the government to respond to us and address our demands. And until then, the protest continues.
From your own point of view, it does look like there is only one thing that you have achieved in this protest, and which is the fact that you are awoken some kind of consciousness in the Nigerian people, and you have gotten the attention of government. Is that all that you have achieved?
Well, I think we've been able to, make people see that they have the power to hold government accountable. And we've also made the government to, come to the consciousness that governance or government is meant for the interest of the people. And once the people are unable to benefit from your governance, then there's no sense for the continuation of such a government.
Are you being sponsored by any politician?
Well, I think that's, for me, I think that's a ridiculous way to denigrate the genuine agitation.
I'm asking a direct question. I'm not beating around the bush. I'm asking because there are direct allegations that the protests in some ways are being sponsored by politicians. So I'd like you to be able to open up to Nigerians to let them know that this is being sponsored in part or in whole by some politicians. Is it true?
For me, the sponsor of this protest, I've said and I'll say again, is hunger. It's economic inequality, economic deprivation of a larger percentage of the Nigerian people. Anything short of that should not be considered. What we should be considering is that, are people really hungry? I walked the town of the States today while protesting, and I saw the humongous queues at the filling stations, and I was appalled. These are reasons why people are poured on the streets across the nation protesting. There is unavailability of PMS. Look at everywhere in the country, there's darkness. Look at everywhere in the country, there's high cost of living. Everywhere in the country, transportation costs are surged. People are not living a good life.
So, and you heard the FCT minister who says there is a senator, a lawmaker, who is behind all of these. Is anybody buying you water, logistic money from all of the? Are you getting any kind of support?
The people themselves, in their benevolence, the people protesting in their benevolence, those who have done, some are the ones who provide for the less privileged at the protest ground. I don't think you should expect more from the minister of the FCT, Mr. Wike, than mischief, because I think they've assessed the whole condition, and that's their only way to bail themselves out, by beginning to make mischievous comments, trying to, rather than address the main issue, beating around the bush, finding all means to denigrate the genuine agitation of the Nigerian people, rather than sitting down, inviting the people, rather than coming on the streets to speak with the Nigerian people. If these people in power, if they are really interested in the, social welfare of the people, by now the president ought to have come to the Abuja streets to address the young people who are genuinely agitating. And rather, what we have been seeing are reckless statements, flying up and down. We saw one this afternoon from the chief of army staff who was subtly threatening Nigerian youths. We've seen several states in the country imposing curfew. These, for us, are insensitive approaches to the breathing.
I'll come to what you feel about.
Yes, so guys, I needed to interrupt because YouTube does not allow you to just take someone else's video and play it for that long. But I want to say something here. He talked about assuming Nigeria. In Nigeria, we have leaders who have empathy, who understand what Nigerians are really going through. Even before this protests really actually started, this government would have come out, the president himself would have come out to address Nigerians. But because they are good at taking the people for granted, what is it that we've not seen from our politicians? Tell me, what is it that these people have not done to the Nigerian people? Instead of them to come out and address the nation, now they are using force. Do you know how many people they've fight in this thing? They are using force everywhere. But guess what? Nigerians are saying this protest must continue. And now the Tinubu's government is even looking very weak because they've seen the determination of the Nigerian youths. Nigerian youths have decided and they are not going back in this protest because we've got to fix this country. A whole lot of things are not working in this country.
He's not hungry, obviously.
Have you sacked him?
He's a senior advocate.
Have you sacked him?
He's a senior advocate.
You might employ a lawyer and sack him.
Mr. Ebun, he's a senior advocate of Nigeria who, lives well. He's not as hungry as common people who are taking over.
So you don't yield to that plea that you should call it off today?
No.
I just give.
So guys, a whole lot of demands have been made, but this government is not even willing to talk to people. That is one of the biggest things. They are not willing to talk to Nigerians. They just want Nigerians to end the strike. But now Nigerians are saying this strike or this protest is even going to exceed 10 days, depending on the actions that the government is going to take. If the government is not willing to engage the people, they are going to continue this protest, unending, unabated. They are going to continue. So what are we saying here? Why is it that the government of the day, Tinubu himself as the president of Nigeria, has not come out to address the concerns of the Nigerian youths who are saying their demands must be met for them to leave the streets?
Give me a moment. Let me speak to, and I'll come to you, Mr. Efengenebe. The truth, from my own perspective. First of all, democracy was a very, very difficult fight. If you know what happened in Africa in the 80s, African leaders, those of them that actually even stepped down, that ruled for 20 years and they were like 70-something years old. I mean, this was a time in which people were very rich, very powerful. So the people that came out to fight for democracy are people that are actually exceptional. And where I'm going with this is the president that we have now is a different kind of president. What makes him different? He's a different kind of president because he's a president that believes in democracy. He's a president that believes in the common man. He's a president that loves the common man. And when I see all this that is happening, it's my job to remind people about who they are talking about. About this man is Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a man who could have actually left the democratic struggle but stood to fight for it, risking his life, risking everything he had. So he's not like the other people that have come and have disappointed. That is why he needs to be given time. He has the credit. He sat down to really think about what he has been doing. Oh, that is enough to even transform Nigeria. The president is we have so many plans in the food in. But you see, God is testing people.
You saw how and what are the demands of the protesters against corruption was a complete flop.
But you see, God is testing people, and it's not just in Nigeria. So God, in America, there's a hand of God in all of this. There's a hand of God in everything. Even in the United States. Which part? Even the hardship, everything. Or the protest, the hardship, the president anything you go power. The president comes.
So this Tinubu spokesman is saying that God is aware of what is happening, that there's a hand of God in the poverty that is in Nigeria. It kind of, maybe it's God's punishment for Nigerians. That's what a representative of this government has come out on a national television to say, that this hunger in the land is the hand of God. Honestly, these people are joking with Nigerians. That's just what you can see.
Prayer was divine. What is happening is also, even in the United States, the highest level of inflation in the United States this year, it's never happened like that in the US before. The whole world, it's like, I don't know what's going on. I think God is really testing us, And I'll tell you this, we have to pass the test. When I see people looting and all of that, all in the name of protest, I say to myself that the person you are looting, you don't know what he has gone through to even open the shop.
Biola, who is President Tinubu today, told Nigerians that Buhari had the same vision with his father. When Buhari left in 2023, thousands of Nigerians were slaughtered. The economy was nothing to write home about. The so-called wall against corruption was a complete flop. the entire country was in ruins. Tinubu came in, and even Tinubu has said he made Nigeria destroyed. At least people loyal to him are saying so. So I begin to wonder whether Buhari's legacy represents the vision of Abiola for Nigeria. I think that is the question Mr. Jamiu and his family should think about, because when he speaks in this manner, it is a desecration of the name of his father. And I'm saying that because I'm very upset about some of the things he has said. Now, regarding your question, I think Nigerians should no longer be taken for granted. We cannot continue to live in a country where we have leaders who do not listen to what the people are saying. People claim, oh, that the president is doing this, the president is listening. Mr. Sheun, this protest has lasted for 2 days now. Has President Tinubu spoken to Nigerians? I personally don't want him to address Nigerians. I want him to address the demands of Nigerians. It's not the same thing. But has he even addressed Nigerians? 48 hours after, dozens of over 12 Nigerians have been killed at a minimum. Has the president spoken? 48 hours after, has the government even said, okay, we want to talk? These are our representatives in the dialogue. Because people kept saying protesters should talk to the government. They said the protesters are faceless, they are leaderless. Who are the people that represent the face of the government if the conversation or dialogue is to take place? And what are the demands of the protesters? Because you say people should leave the streets, but have you listened to them? Have you listened to them? You have a president that has 48 ministers, Sheun, 48 ministers, the highest in the history of our country, at a time that the country does not have money to run and pay for basic services. If the president is serious, he shouldn't take Tinubu 1 hour to reduce the number of ministers to 37. Because constitutionally, every state is entitled to minister plus the FCT. There is no reason why Nigeria should have more than 37 ministers. So when the protesters say they need you to reduce the cost of governance, these are actions that can be taken under 24 hours. People say they want electoral reform. Sheun, you saw how the Akpabio Senate and the counterpart in the House of Reps convened to amend the Police Act to extend the tenure of the IG within 24 hours. Under 24 hours emergency session, they also passed an Appropriation Act. If the president is serious about addressing the protesters, by now the Federal Ministry of Justice would have come up with a draft bill to amend the Electoral Act and send it to the National Assembly to make electronic transmission of results mandatory under our law. This is one of the demands. If the president is serious, if the president is really serious, he would have addressed, right, other demands of the protesters, including economic policies that have been introduced, that have rendered Nigerians homeless, that have rendered Nigerians hungry. They told us on the 29th of May last year, Sheun, that the president has removed subsidy. We are aware from records that the last year, you can fact check me, about 3 trillion was paid for subsidy. Where is the fuel? We are still having queues. People cannot find it to buy. They have increased the cost of the electricity tariff. That has now made a mess of power in our country. So you continue to introduce policies that are subjugating people. And people are protesting. You haven't said anything to address it. You want to buy a new aircraft. You are building a new residence for Shetima. And you say there is no money. And you are saying that people should listen. Now Wike is coming out to make irresponsible statements. I'm not surprised. Nobody is surprised. The same Wike that was threatening people not to come out in the FCT, you are hearing what the governors are saying, because they claim that the president has given money to governors, right, to ameliorate the suffering of Nigerians. For me, that is just a largesse, because you are dealing with governors that are not accountable. There is no single House of Assembly in Nigeria today, out of the 36, not one, not in Lagos, not in Akwa Ibom, not in Zamfara, that can hold a governor accountable, not even one. All of them have become stooges of governors. Sheun, are you not aware that governors are still spending billions monthly, are still spending billions as running costs to buy new vehicles, to run their government houses on frivolous things? Sheun, we are dealing with a kleptomaniac political class in our country.
Oh my God. So guys, you might just want to just keep listening to Barrister Effiong. Because each time he speaks, he speaks facts. He speaks facts that you can go trace. And you can see how this government has run down Nigeria. That's why Nigerians want to protest. Now Nigerians have woken up. Many Nigerians are aware. We now know that we are the employers of these government politicians. We are their employers. They are our employees. We are the ones that employ them. We are the ones that will decide whether to leave them or to fire them. Now, people have woken up. People have got this awakeness in them. And that is why you see this protest going the way it is. So the police and other security agents, they've come out with full force. But guess what? They couldn't deter these politicians, these protesters. They could not deter them. People keep saying, we must see to the end of this. And that is what struggle is all about. We must see to the end, because these people have taken Nigerians for granted. I mean, they've taken us for granted. They've taken us for granted. If Tinubu adds any extra budget to what he already has, Shetima will just approve it. Before you know it, they'll tell they've signed it into law. Anything they are doing is all about themselves. All about themselves. Yesterday, I tried to share with you guys where Interpol was saying that government money is being flown out of Nigeria hourly. I mean, government money is being flown out of Nigeria every hour. You ask yourself, who are the ones taking our money and, taking them outside the country every hour? Who are the ones doing this to Nigeria at a time when we are very poor? As they've always told us, we don't know if we are poor. Is it just that they don't want Nigerians to benefit from the commonwealth that belong to each and every one of us? And you can see how their body languages, can you imagine all these things are happening across the country? Tinubu cannot come out to speak. He can't come out to speak. He cannot come out to speak. A leader for that matter. But he can't come out to speak. And that is why people are not happy. People are saying, where is Tinubu? Where is Tinubu? He cannot come out to speak, to address the populace, to address the protesters, those who are angry, those who are saying they are not happy with what is happening in the country. And guess what? They started shooting. In the north, we now have how many people that have lost their lives because this government decided not to follow the legal way of doing things. That's what they've just showcased, that they don't do things the right way. And that is it. So guys, you have seen it for yourself. Let me not take you too long in this video, because I felt I should share with you guys some of the reactions coming from Nigerians and the anger that is out there, the fierceness. So guys, sorry for that. I think the internet is a bit bad. So let me just allow you to take a look again at this video, and we are going to call it a day.
We are dealing with people that have made up their minds to destroy our country. So how can the president be giving money to governors that nobody can hold accountable? And they claim they are distributing rice. How many rice? How many families have received this rice? How many? They claim that they are going to reduce the cost of a bag of rice to 40,000. Maybe in the villa, they are selling it at that amount. In the markets in Lagos, I haven't seen that. So maybe it's in the Akpabio Senate that they are selling rice for 40,000. I have not seen it anywhere. So the point I am making, if you are really honest about engagement with the protesters, because it's not enough to say you want to engage. Are you really honest about it? Are you honest about it? I am excited that in Lagos, the situation is relatively calm. And that is because at our own level, we are also talking, advising the protesters to be calm. But guess what? Even as I speak to you, today we just secured the release of 12 people from Panti. The governor said it is peaceful. The CP said it is peaceful. People are still being arrested.
So guys, what this barrister is saying is that Tinubu said he has removed subsidy, but guess what? He's paying subsidy to the state governors instead of giving the masses that money. Instead of using that money to build good schools, good roads, good hospitals, make things, life easy for people. Instead of using that money to initiate at least some level of job opportunities for idle youth. Guess what? Tinubu gave this money to governors. these governors that are not representing us, where is whom Tinubu is giving money to. I wonder if he's trying to buy them ahead of 2027, or is it that he's just trying to be kind, like, Father Christmas? Nobody knows, because what this government cannot do does not exist. You can imagine subsidy is gone, but still they are paying subsidy, and guess who they are paying it to? They give it to the state government, and just allow people to be dying anyhow. People have not eaten. People will go out. Some of them will just slump and die. But this government doesn't care. So, guys, just for you guys to see some of these updates, and also to know what is happening, the protests, that I would have loved to show you guys some of those videos coming from the protests that held across the nation. Would have loved to show you guys, but I don't really have much time to spend here
we
again.
should come out and say the country.
Honestly, Nigerians are
No,
not
we said the
happy.
Gadaros. Understand? If us no come and say this no protest now,
So guys, we are going to call it a day at this point.
By the time say they come and now
I'm
say
going to call
we
it a
want
day.
this one, want that
Thank you
one,
very
you know
much
go make the go
for joining me.
21.
Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Thank you, and let's meet again some other time. Bye.